Hey everyone, welcome back to GMGenie, the channel that gives you the tips and techniques to take your game mastering game out of the box and off the rails. Got another tool for your invention toolbox today, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the first video in this series. It's also the first line in the description. First, let me tell you the problem this tool will solve. When you are inventing your adventure, creating your inventory of stuff, you're essentially writing on two levels. You're writing the list of stuff you want in your game. Scenes, events that you initiate, events that your players initiate, NPCs, plot points, scenes where your players might encounter those plot points. But you're also writing the content of each of those items of stuff. You know, a description, maybe some narration to introduce it, NPC dialogue, combat stats, surprises for your players, and notes to yourself about how you wanted to run this unit of stuff. These are the things I call the 3 Ds. Descriptions, dialogue, and details. Right? List of items, content that goes in those items. Table of contents, actual chapters. Now you may not think of these as being two different levels because you're usually writing them simultaneously, and that's fine. The thing is, not thinking of these separately has led me into all kinds of writing difficulties before I figured this out, and maybe you can relate. Tell me if any of these have happened to you. When I'm writing on paper, I usually start with the outline, table of contents, list of stuff, stretched out over a couple of pages, but as each of the items grows and develops, I quickly run out of room to add new details. Then your prep is so cluttered you gotta rewrite it somewhere else, and that just takes time. Whereas if you're writing on a computer, you can create new lines and insert new content infinitely. But then your screen limits how much of your adventure you can look at a time, and it's like looking at your notes through a very small window. So it becomes hard to get your creativity rolling, at least for me. It's counter-inventive, if you will. So here is the tool I use to invent without any of those issues. I call it the Sheaf. When I'm writing, I write an index page where I've got my scenes, locations, plot twists, NPCs, all laid out on one clean page so I can see the names of everything that's in the adventure. And then each item on that list gets its own whole sheet for brainstorming. And now I can jot down whatever I want because the index is clean and easy to navigate. Then you just clip them together and you're ready to go. You might even want to make separate sheaves for your plot points, your episodes, your locations, NPCs, traps, or anything else you have more than one of. And having this stack of sheaves makes it so when you've got one single idea you want to add to your notes, you can just go and jot it down on the correct sheet without having to hunt around on some long computer document or try and cram it into a linear paper outline that's just getting harder and harder to read with every idea you add. Because when you're doing any task, you want to cut out distractions and do only that. Especially if you're writing your game alongside adult responsibilities. Get in, write your idea, get out. Now a couple of tips on using the Sheaf. Keep your index as clean as possible. All headers, no content. On your content pages, don't feel any pressure to put things in order. That's for the next toolbox, arrangement, which I'll be talking about later in the series. And don't feel any pressure to flesh things out. That's going to come naturally once you start arranging. It's actually really hard to... There we go. Oh, okay, we're not broken. That's it for this writing tool. Check out the rest of this playlist and subscribe for more game mastering videos every week. I am GMGenie. I'll see you next time.